Good evening. This is the video newsletter for Buy Sell Short for Tuesday, October 26th. Interesting open today on the market. We had the market gap down 60 or so points, and the business media reason for that was the Schuler, I'm getting the name wrong, the housing index, the 20 city housing price index, posted a 0.2% price decline. Run for the hills. Oh my God, housing prices dropped 0.2% in the last month. Holy crap. If you've got any common sense, you would have seen through that BS. The only reason the market opened down today, and let's pull that chart up right here, was the US dollar. We had the US dollar pop today, and as such, whatever way the US dollar goes, the stock market goes the opposite way. Now, after that early sell off on the Dow and the overall markets, if you're in the chat room, I said we were going to bounce, and we were down about 64 points. We ended up bouncing green later in the day, but this pretty much has been the trend recently. If you look at the 15-minute chart, you can see here almost every 1 to 3 days we see a really sharp sell-off and then a slow recovery, sharp sell-off, slow recovery, sharp sell-off, etc., etc., etc. And, that's typical action in a bull move in the market. They take stocks down on pretty low volume, they trigger stops, they steal the shares, and then they take the market higher again so that they can piece out that inventory for a nice little gain. As you can see on the 200-day moving average, over the last couple of weeks, we've been riding that, or on the 15-minute chart, we've been riding that 200-day moving average in that time frame. And every time we get below that level, we see a nice little snapback shortly thereafter. And today was no different. Indicators on the 15-minute chart show that we could have some upside again tomorrow. You recall in the Sunday video, I said we were going to get a nice little gap. We had that 100-point pop, just perfect action. Tomorrow, I'm not looking for the same. I'm just looking for possibly a green open. And again, I'm going to add that caveat. It all depends on what the dollar does. If the dollar is down, the market will be up. If the dollar is up, the market will have trouble. Even though, we've got the major indices sort of treading around, small caps, biotech stocks, speculative money is out there right now. And that is why we've just been hitting the ball out of the park recently. Before we get there, though, let's take a look at the Dow daily chart. Possible hammer top here, but, just like the last couple of weeks or the last month, unless we really break that 20-day exponential significantly to the downside, I'm not that concerned right now. 20-day is at 11,000, so that's our line in the sand. And then below that, even if we do get a sell-off, we've got really strong support down there at the 50-day and 200-day moving average. For right now, as long as we're above 11K, the speculative money is going to be in the market. So that's the level we're going to watch. If we break below 11K, we'll get really cautious and start playing fewer plays and raise our cash levels, although we're sitting on pretty high cash levels right now. So, for now, we're going to continue to play this market. And right now, the scenario that we're seeing, the market sort of treading water up here at the highs, just perfect scenario for speculative money in this market. And, while the getting's good, we're going to start or continue to play the plays that we are. SMH, still waiting for that break of the 29 level. It's holding support at the 20-day exponential at 28 cents. Now, this little candle we have here, SMH got beat over the head on that opening on the open today as everything else, and then came back nicely. Typically, when we see a candle like this on the SMH, more times than not, we see at least a higher price in the next trading session. So let's see if that is the case again tomorrow. Stock plays, PARD. This was a late trading alert yesterday in the chat room, and a trading alert for a 55-cent break. Our target was 65 to 68 cents here. Again, going along the biotech theme, bios have just been on fire over the last couple of days. Some really big movers. PARD, old favorite of ours. Stock got a nice spike on volume today. Hit 65 cents before it retreated. One thing on these bios, especially when you see these big 20% plus moves on some of these biotech stocks, it should go without saying that you need to be booking gains on these moves. Don't be holding for the home run, singles, doubles, triples. you start booking single, doubles, and triples, you're going to be a happy trader come the end of the year when you're looking over your P&L for the year. So very nice volume on this one. Let's see what happens here if we get some follow through on it tomorrow. BNVI sort of didn't do much today. Treaded water, got that early gap down with the rest of the market, and I think that sort of scared a lot of traders away. The real breakout move will come on a break through the 20-day exponential at 110. So, if you're in this one, keep your position small, or if you're not in it, look to possibly add a break of 109, 110 on this one. So keep an eye on it. 110 break probably lights this one up. NURO, going along that Biotech theme today. We jumped into this one, 60 cents and under. Really big volume on it today, but really traded crappily. So we're going to have to see how this one acts tomorrow. Chart looks really, really good here. Even if, I didn't jump into this stock today and I was looking at it right now, the chart looks really, really good. RSI moving up. Nice volume spike today. Positive ADX cross. We've got stochastics almost ready to break through. Unbalanced volume shows some good action, but really was stuck in the mud. We need to see this one up over 60 cents tomorrow. Otherwise, we're going to start thinking it's like that ABTL. Great chart setup, but has a fund seller that's going to, hold the stock back until they're done. So let's see how this one acts tomorrow. Stops 53 cents. Target remains 65, 75 cents on this one, and we really want to see some follow through on it tomorrow. APPA, this was a chat room play today. We jumped into this one, 58 cents. Our targets were 65, 70, and then above that, there's really no resistance till 80 cents. Hit the first two targets here, especially going into the close. Looks really, really good for possible gap tomorrow. Next resistance on this, let's look at the 1-year chart. Here's the 1-year chart, and we're looking at a band of 80 to 94 cents as next upside on this one if it gets some follow through tomorrow. AEHR, low float stocks, again started taking off this last couple of hours today. AEHR, very nice low float play. It's got about 8 million shares in the float. This is also a play on the flash revolution that's coming right now. Apple is making a big push into flash memory, and you're going to see a lot of other companies follow suit. These guys make the equipment that makes the flash. So if you're a flash equipment company, you need these AEHR's equipment to do that. Similar setup as ICGN that we got a fat move on the other day. Breakout at the 50-day moving average at 130. So if you're not in this one, 130 and under would definitely look to add. If you got some gamble in you can trade as high as $1.35. 140 lights this one up, and this is a stock that 2 weeks ago was trading at $1.75. It's a low float. We got a positive MACD cross today. ADX is very strong. Stochastics coming out of the 20 level. Unbalanced volume vertical. Just looking at the technicals on this one, this is a very, very nice setup here and could be a very nice winner for us over the next couple of days. Trade your stops now on this one to break even, or the 8-day moving average 123. We'll definitely be looking to add this one on any dips because I think it could do very well for us over the next few days. OPWV finally got that breakout today. Big 10% move on OPWV. Got that break at $2. So as I mentioned in the chat room, we jumped into a position on this one as well on a break at 2. Just like the last few that we played, like EGHT, most recently ACLS. Target on this break at 2 is 210 to 220. That is the average price you usually see when a stock breaks that 210 or $2 area. And we've got the 200-day moving average up there at 213. So we should see some nice follow through on this one tomorrow, going into its earnings report on Thursday. HLCS, another biotech play we jumped into yesterday. Targets were 50, 55 cents plus. We hit that first target. Got beaten around a little bit today. Did get that early spike, but this is a stock that is notorious for doing these pop and drops. Breakout is still in play here, and with more and more bios going, we had APPY explode 300% in the last 2 days, and that move in APPA today. Very, very few of these plays left, and these guys have filed a patent infringement lawsuit against a Biggie, LIFE. Same thing happened on the last couple of spikes here. They filed patent lawsuits and the stock went crazy. So look what it did back there in August. We got that big spike, sort of treaded water, and then went kaboom. Probably looking at the same thing happening again. Did the same thing in September as well. Got a spike, shook out the traders, and then went boom. So we're going to look and see if we have similar action in this one near term. WEST, Kina Solar, one we jumped into a couple of weeks ago on the solar craziness. We started seeing that alternative energy stocks really popping today, and chart looks really good here. We got a close above the 20-day exponential today, which is the first time. We weren't able to do that on the last move here. This one, they report earnings pre-market on Thursday, so tomorrow could be a very nice day in WEST. RSI is breaking 50. We got a positive MACD cross today, and we've got stochastics doing exactly what we want to see on a bottomed out stock that's ready to run. Targets 50-day moving average 63 to 65 cents is our first target on this one, with stops at 52 cents for now. Last but not least, quick mention on TRID. We had a huge move on that one. Earnings play. The reason I'm bringing this up, TRID, check the price in after hours. It's $1.07. But the reason I bring up TRID, I've been asked many, many times why I don't have us play stocks into earnings. This is why. TRID was $2.40 today, after hours $1.70. You know, there can be some nice upsides on earnings reports, but I'd rather play the surer things than take a 50-50 crapshoot on a stock. So this is my example of why we do not play stocks into earnings. And when we do play them into earnings, we only do them if we're almost guaranteed that they're going to beat. So, you know, just a lesson to the newbies here. We do not play stocks into earnings, and TRID is one of the reasons why. It's an example of why. So going into tomorrow, we should see continued movement in the biotech stocks. Really love this setup on AEHR. I think it has some very nice upside potential, especially given some of the moves we've seen in some really crappy low floats over the last couple of days. And WEST looks solid for a nice move tomorrow. And again, I will say, if you can jump into the chat room, there's a lot of trades that are moving so fast, there's no point in sending out alerts. So if you can be in the chat room, definitely come into the chat room. And I will see you guys in the chat room tomorrow. Goodbye.